The year is 2027, a year that will be remembered in history books for generations to come. A year when the world stood on the precipice of chaos and conflict. The world watches with bated breath. Every news broadcast, every headline, every social media post is filled with anxiety and uncertainty. People gather in public squares, glued to giant screens, hoping for a glimmer of good news. Tensions have been simmering for years. Diplomatic efforts have been made, treaties signed and promises exchanged. Yet, beneath the surface, the waters have been boiling, waiting for a spark to ignite the flames of conflict. A territorial dispute in the South China Sea boils over. A miscalculation, a single misstep in a region already fraught with tension. The strategic importance of these waters cannot be overstated, and now they have become the epicenter of a global crisis. A show of force met with unexpected resistance. Suddenly, shots are fired. The fragile peace shatters. What was once a standoff has now escalated into open conflict. The sound of gunfire and explosions echo across the waters, signaling the beginning of a new and dangerous chapter. What began as a regional conflict escalates rapidly, drawing in global powers. Nations that were once allies find themselves on opposite sides. Emergency meetings are held, military jets are scrambled, and protests erupt around the world. The international community is in turmoil. This is not a world war anyone wanted, but it is the world war they have. Cities are torn apart, families are displaced, and the future looks uncertain. Leaders who once spoke of peace now prepare for war, their faces etched with concern and determination. The world holds its breath, waiting to see who will make the next move. In war rooms and command centers, strategies are devised and decisions are made. The tension is palpable and the stakes are higher than ever before. Will it be a step towards de-escalation or a plunge into the abyss? Peace talks are initiated, but the path to resolution is fraught with challenges. Every decision, every move could either bring the world back from the brink or push it further into chaos. The stakes could not be higher. The global economy teeters on the edge, and the lives of millions are disrupted. The world watches, waits, and hopes for a resolution that seems increasingly elusive. The fate of billions hangs in the balance. As the world grapples with this unprecedented crisis, the hope for peace remains a distant dream. Yet in the face of adversity, humanity's resilience and determination shine through, reminding us that even in the darkest times there is always a glimmer of hope. In the face of a common enemy, old partnerships are strengthened and new alliances are formed. The United States, the European Union and India find themselves bound by a shared interest in containing the escalating conflict. This is not just about ideology, this is about survival. Military collaborations deepen, intelligence is shared. The combined might of these democratic powers presents a formidable force. This alliance is not without its challenges. There are historical baggage and diverging interests to navigate, but the urgency of the situation demands unity. China, with its growing economic and military might, casts a long shadow over the region. Its ambitions are clear, its actions are increasingly aggressive. Its territorial claims in the South China Sea and beyond directly threaten India's security and economic interests. Border disputes simmer, cyber attacks escalate, propaganda wars rage. The threat is not theoretical, it is real, it is imminent, and it is growing. India finds itself on the front lines of a new kind of conflict, one that blends conventional warfare with economic coercion and technological dominance. India's long-standing relationship with Russia adds another layer of complexity to this volatile situation. This relationship, which has been nurtured over decades, is built on a foundation of mutual respect and strategic interests. From defense cooperation to economic ties, India and Russia have shared a unique bond that has withstood the test of time. However, the current global conflict is putting unprecedented strain on this partnership. Bound by history, defense cooperation, and shared mistrust of the West, the two countries find themselves on opposite sides of a global divide. The defense cooperation between India and Russia has been a cornerstone of their relationship, with numerous joint military exercises and arms deals. This cooperation has not only strengthened their military capabilities, but also fostered a sense of camaraderie and trust. Yet, as the geopolitical landscape shifts, this once solid foundation is beginning to show cracks. Russia, seeking to reassert its global influence, sees an opportunity in the chaos. The Kremlin's ambitions are clear: to expand its sphere of influence and to challenge the existing world order. This aggressive stance has led to increased military mobilization and strategic maneuvers, further complicating the situation for its allies. For India, this means navigating a delicate balance between supporting a longtime partner and maintaining its own strategic autonomy. It walks a tightrope, trying to balance its own interests with its historical ties to India. The Indian government is acutely aware of the stakes involved. On one hand, there is the need to honor its historical ties with Russia, which have been instrumental in shaping its defense and foreign policies. On the other hand, there is the imperative to safeguard its national interests in an increasingly polarized world. This balancing act becomes increasingly untenable as the conflict escalates. The rising tensions and ongoing conflict are making it harder for India to maintain its neutral stance. Diplomatic discussions are becoming more fraught, and the pressure to take a definitive stand is mounting. The Indian leadership is faced with tough choices that could redefine its foreign policy for years to come. India is forced to walk a diplomatic tightrope of its own, carefully navigating its relationships with both Russia and the West. The West, particularly the United States and European Union, are keenly observing India's moves. They are eager to draw India closer into their fold, offering economic and strategic incentives. However, India must weigh these offers against the potential fallout with Russia. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, and India's diplomatic acumen will be tested like never before. The Indo-Pacific region, home to vital shipping lanes and abundant resources, emerges as the central theater of this global conflict. India, with its strategic location at the heart of this region, becomes a pivotal player. Control of the Indian Ocean becomes paramount. India's navy, once a regional force, finds itself on the front lines of a global struggle. Its role is not just about protecting its own interests, but about safeguarding the free flow of trade and ensuring the security of the entire region. Section 6. A world engulfed. The human toll of global war. As the conflict rages on, the human cost becomes horrifyingly clear. Millions are displaced from their homes, seeking refuge from the fighting. Economies crumble. Global supply chains collapse. The world faces food shortages, energy crises, and the ever-present threat of nuclear escalation. The very fabric of society begins to unravel as fear, suspicion, and desperation take hold. Section 7. The fog of war. Uncertainties and unforeseen consequences. In the fog of war, information is scarce and misinformation is rampant. Propaganda machines work overtime, blurring the lines between truth and falsehood. Cyber attacks cripple infrastructure and sow chaos. The line between the virtual and the real blurs as nations engage in a new kind of warfare, one fought with bytes as much as bullets. Alliances shift. Loyalties are tested. The world becomes a more dangerous and unpredictable place. Section 8. The path not taken. Diplomacy is the only solution. Amidst the chaos and destruction, one thing becomes clear. There can be no winners in this war, only survivors. The path to peace, however elusive, lies in dialogue and diplomacy. The international community must come together, setting aside their differences to find a way out of the abyss. Global institutions, weakened by years of neglect and mistrust, must be revitalized and empowered to play a mediating role. Section 9. Towards a more secure future, India's role in a multipolar world. The world that emerges from this conflict will be forever changed. The geopolitical landscape is shifting, and the balance of power is being redefined. As nations reassess their positions and alliances, India stands at a pivotal juncture. Its strategic location, burgeoning economy, and rich cultural heritage make it a key player in this evolving scenario. The choices India makes today will have far-reaching implications for the future of global politics. The old order will be gone, replaced by a more multipolar world. In this new world, power will be more evenly distributed among various nations, reducing the dominance of any single superpower. This shift will bring both opportunities and challenges. For India, it means a chance to assert its influence and advocate for a more balanced and equitable global order. It also means navigating complex international relations and forging new partnerships while maintaining its sovereignty and national interests. India, having navigated the treacherous currents of global conflict, will emerge as a major power on the global stage. Its military strength, economic resilience, and diplomatic acumen will be crucial in this new era. India's commitment to peace and stability will be a guiding principle as it engages with other nations. The country's leadership will be instrumental in addressing global challenges such as climate change, terrorism, and economic inequality. By promoting dialogue and cooperation, India can help build a more secure and prosperous world. Its role will be crucial in shaping a new world order, one based on cooperation, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to peace. India's rich history of non-violence and diplomacy, as exemplified by leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, will serve as a foundation for its future endeavors. The country will advocate for peaceful resolutions to conflicts and work towards creating a global environment where nations can coexist harmoniously. India's vision for the future includes fostering economic growth, technological innovation, and cultural exchange, all while upholding the principles of justice and equality. The lessons learned from this crisis will be etched in the collective memory of humanity. The importance of unity, resilience, and adaptability will be underscored. As the world reflects on the past and looks towards the future, India will be at the forefront of efforts to ensure that such conflicts do not recur. The nation's experiences and insights will be invaluable in shaping policies and strategies that promote global peace and security. By sharing its journey and lessons, India can inspire other nations to pursue paths of peace and cooperation. The importance of diplomacy, the futility of war, and the interconnectedness of our world will be forever etched in our minds. In this interconnected world, no nation can afford to stand alone. India's approach to international relations will emphasize collaboration and mutual benefit. By building strong alliances and participating in global institutions, India will contribute to a more stable and interconnected world. The country's efforts in promoting sustainable development, humanitarian aid, and disaster relief will further solidify its role as a responsible global leader. The future is unwritten, but India, with its commitment to peace and its growing influence, will play a vital role in shaping it. The aspirations of its people, the vision of its leaders, and the strength of its institutions will drive India forward. As the nation continues to evolve and adapt, it will remain a beacon of hope and progress. The world will look to India for leadership, inspiration, and partnership in building a better, more inclusive future for all. With its rich heritage and forward-looking mindset, India is poised to make a lasting impact on the global stage.